thing of pride now. It's not about him anymore. How you doing? You'll be alright. You'll be alright. We'll see you.
So in the video, you can see BLord having a handshake with VDM after dragging it out for weeks in the courts.
But because of Sowore, I want to show you no, it's not even about him anymore. It's a thing of pride now. It's not about him anymore. It's about showing Sowore that he cannot do anything. Yes, this is about general. I want to show and say I've been general. No, like I said, it's not about him. It's about Sowore now.
All right, so in this particular video, I want to bring you up to speed with that one, so you can have a commentary on it real quick. It's trendy right now as to speak on Twitter. It says VDM shake me now, shake your man now. BLord says to VDM as VDM finally agrees to settle his case with him. See here, be humble for this life. So somebody said it's not about you anymore, and I quote, it's not about you anymore, BLord. It's a thing of pride now. It's about Sowore. It's about Sowore. I want to show Sowore that he cannot do anything. I want him to know. Very Dark Man tells BLord in court this morning. I wanted to get your take on this. I don't know if you've been paying attention to it.
Why is BLord? I didn't pay attention to that, in truth. Why is BLord trying to drag Sowore into his handshake with?
So they had a tussle online. Basically, he misused Very Dark Man's brand, and basically there's a case of defamation between Very Dark Man and BLord, and he got arrested. I guess there was a criminal case against him, and Sowore chimed in and said this is oppression. And Sowore, anytime he sees a case of oppression, he takes it on regardless of who is involved. Even if it's his children, he will fight them. So now, over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of back and forth. Not necessarily back and forth because Sowore barely answered him, actually, to be honest.
Well, you know my attitude and reaction about things like this.
Yes, please go for it. Let's hear it.
It's almost like when, I was trying to do a proper analysis on the thesis of socialism, communism versus capitalism and all that. Mm-hmm. And in those days, the slogan would be that, will come from Communist Party folks that, workers of the world, unite. All of them, I don't see the way in which they can always push against each other, because they exist for the rights of subaltern people, defense of the rights of the oppressed. So where do they cancel each other out? I think they can mutually stand for the same thing without hurting each other, unless they are doing this, unless they all, whether Sowore or the Lord or VDM, if they are in need for personal ego, if it is for the common good, I think they need to.
Chief, for the sake of accuracy, okay, BLord was accused of impersonating VDM, forgery, identity theft, and unauthorized use of VDM's name and brand, and he was remanded in Kuje prison, and VDM celebrated this as a victory. And then the entry of Sowore was that he condemned BLord's incarceration, calling it a weaponization of the law.
Well, if the conduct was criminal, I do not see how that mixes.
So my question to you is that, in your opinion, would you, in your honest opinion, being that you're not you're not a lawyer, you're just a honest, regular, day-to-day citizen, do you think the conduct of impersonating a person's, or is that criminal?
It is criminal if the court so pronounces. Not me. It's beyond my pay grade to so declare, but the court will interpret it, and if the court says that it is criminal, then it is criminal.
Okay, so he got arrested for that, and that's where Sowore came in, and now in this case, right? Is it really the point you were just making? Is it really? Do they really stand for the same thing? If they truly stand for the same thing, why would they even come close at all to canceling each other out? Because you're suggesting it shouldn't happen. Why would they even come any close to it at all?
What I'm saying, this is my clarification. If they all are pushing for common good, that is resisting the oppression of the less privileged. I'm for that. But if somebody crosses the line into criminal conduct, I cannot defend that. I'm sorry.
I understand.
That's what I'm saying. And so if the conduct is criminal, that would be something Sowore and I cannot agree on. So if it is about defending the rights of the oppressed and the subaltern, I'm all for that. That is what I'm saying. So if this has been ruled as criminal, then nobody should do anything that will suggest the possibility of obstruction of justice, or what could even take the shine off the core defining principle of the past struggles of people like Sowore, VDM, and this individual. So nobody should celebrate victory if it's an obvious situation of criminality.
I mean, according to based on what he just said, this is and also people are saying this is a battle of the egos, right?
If it is, then that would be very, very sad. It would be tragic. People should.
But he just said it himself that it's a fight of pride now. He literally just said it. VDM just said it. VDM, Very Dark Man just said it. Sowore barely said anything in all of this. He's just saying, he just kept saying like this, you know, he can't stand for any type of oppression. That's all he's saying. But VDM is outrightly saying that this is a fight of pride at this point. Well, and don't forget that he has exposed Sowore's child as well. He has exposed Sowore. He actually put out a video where he was pinpointed that there was Sowore's child in the video where he was receiving an award here in New Jersey, and he was basically pointing out that Sowore is spending $16,000 per term to send his kids to school, and where is he getting all that money from?
See, when people say things like this, Ola, you and I live in America. Our children are in school here. Does he know if Sowore's children are having a ride by way of grant or being extremely brilliant, being given scholarships? At least, I'm not a rich person, but at least I've seen the grace of God that my children attend good schools in the United States, but not because of any corruption or having any wealth. And I'm sure that is the case about your children. Even at some point, as somebody who attended universities in the United States here, there were times you enjoyed certain facilities that made it so easy for you. So if people now are going to jump into a conclusion that because Sowore's children go to school in the United States, that itself points to being corrupt and what have you, I would look at that as rubbish and nonsensical. What I'm saying, therefore, is that we better know what we're taking on before we decide to rubbish the good work of fellow compatriots. Unless I know I have the details, yes. You know, I do not, I resist every attempt at talking about my children. But the Lord has been so merciful to me that as a journalist who does not have it cut out in a straight fashion for me, dealing with disability and all that, God's giving me children that are exceptionally brilliant, straight A students. And when they hand their flowers by way of scholarships, whether through Emory or Roosevelt University in Chicago, I can only thank God for His mercy. If I can, you know, so looking at it through my own lens, I would say I do not know if Sowore's children are extraordinarily brilliant such that they enjoy scholarships and grants. Nobody should be dragging people's family and children into what adults do. These children should be protected. They should be left alone.
Well, we're going to say that to VDM, and this issue, Chief, is a typical case of I better pass my neighbor. Yeah, Nigerians,
which is rubbish.
Nigerians don't know when to slow down on the ego thing.
Yes,
the senior gatesman is always looking to oppress the junior gatesman,
which is sad.
So, and I think as much as yes, I can see that they're both fighting against the oppression of the common man. In this case, I am going to declare Sowore the winner of this fight because that's clearly not what he's doing. He's never done that. Sowore is not a perfect. You know how I feel about him. I think he's not a politician and should stop trying to be a politician. However, in this case,
Sowore is too straight. He's too straight. And
it's too straight to drag him in this mud that this boy is trying to drag him in.
Yes,
it won't work.
Yeah, for example, I look at my attempt in the past to want to join in making sure that Nigeria gets it right through the tool of journalism. I saw people coming under my roof to say, "Oh, I dare you to go back to Nigeria. I dare you to go back to Ayede." If people are waiting for you there to roast you. You see the way people play their game. They're just looking for whatever they will use to discredit you, even if you have done everything to be above board.
The least he could have done, Chief, is to check with a friend. Is this the right type of dragging? Should I drag this man's child? And he made that terrible mistake.
Honestly, it is not only ludicrous. I think it is absurd and irresponsible, to say the least.
You wanted to say something about Sheyi Makinde and the Operation Wetty. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? We ran out of time.